Just 4 months ago, I started powerlifting, and in 10 weeks' time, I have my first powerlifting meet. Here's how I'm going to prepare for it. To put it simply, powerlifting is a sport designed to find the strongest person in a room. They do this by using the 3 main compound lifts. These lifts are squat, bench and deadlift. So a standard powerlifting competition will look like this. You'll turn up on the day and go in for weigh-in. Once you've gone in for weigh-in, you'll go and get your equipment checked. This will include checking things like your knee sleeves, your belt, your wrist wraps, all other equipment that you're going to be using on the day. Now once all of this is completed, you're going to go and start and warm up ready to attempt your first lift. Now in the sequence of lifts, the first lift is usually the squat. Now you get 3 attempts at this. Usually you start off with a weight that's manageable. You then work up to your maximum lift. You do this for each lift, so squat, bench and then deadlift. And then at the end of all of this, so 9 attempts in total, you take the highest lift from each lift and add those up to the total. This is what's called your total for the meet. For example, if you score 200 kilos on squat, 140 kilos on bench, and then 220 kilos on deadlift, you add those 3 up, so you do 200 plus 140, which takes you to 340 plus 220, so that takes your total to 560. This score is then your total for that meet and will be graded against the other competitors in the meet. To make these competitions fair and make it an even playing field, they categorise them into different weight classes. I'm aiming to compete at the 82.5 kilo weight class. The winner is then decided by who has the highest total over the 3 lifts. Now that we understand what a powerlifting meet is, let's get into how I'm preparing for it. First 12 weeks of starting powerlifting, I decided to make my own program to try and see how well I can improve each lift. After this 12 weeks, I was able to improve my lifts by a significant amount. However, I think this was just beginner gains as I started to see a slight plateau.
So I just push on. Beginner's luck.
This is when I decided to actually go and get a powerlifting coach to make me a program so I could really dial in on improving my 3 lifts. And that brings us to today. I'm 10 weeks into this 12-week block. Next week is my deload, and then the week after that I get to finally test out my max lifts. At the start of this block, my squat was at 190 kilos. Bench press was at 140. And my deadlift was at 220 kilos. Now, I'm hoping to be able to break the 200 mark on squat. The bench press I want to put up 145 to 150, and for the deadlift I would hope that I'll be able to hit 240 kilos. Now, these are just number goals, and it doesn't really matter if I achieve those goals or not, because I feel as though my strength has improved massively, and sometimes it's not just the numbers that equate to how much you've actually improved. Over these past 12 weeks, I really had to put myself out of my comfort zone and change my style of training. This new style of training has been challenging to me, as my previous training has always been focused on bodybuilding or weight training, and this training is very, very different. From my experience, strength training requires a lot more patience. It requires day in, day out, repetitive movements, focusing on building strength and muscle. However, I've definitely seen the most improvement over these past 10 weeks. I'm looking forward to seeing how much I can push my body and how much I can actually achieve. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you do subscribe so you can follow me as I attempt my first powerlifting meet. Right, I'll catch you in the next one.